So many blessings to all of you out there. I thought I'd hop on today just to share an experience that I had today. I woke up this morning with a lot of chest pain, of course, on my left side. So a perfect opportunity for me to experience a little bit of stress. So I woke up and I felt this restriction, hard to breathe in my chest on my left side, so around my heart, and and immediately my mind and the fears and the thoughts and everything goes to, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack, or oh my God, something's wrong, something's really wrong. So um, I because I've been working on watching my mind for so long, and just finished a great book that just reaffirms this, Mickey Singer's Surrender Experiment. Um, how the mind will just go and go and go, and it'll usually catch on and go towards all of the negativity, all of the fears, all of the not positive possibilities, but all of the dire straits, right? So I I get in a place of first kind of seeing myself get pulled into all of that, and then I just chose to choose centeredness and started to move into the breath. Even though it was hard to breathe into the chest, there felt like a lot of holding and restriction, but also pain, like literally pain. And so I started to massage the area and make some movements and just open up, started to just move into all of the muscles and the structure around the chest and the heart, not really knowing what was there, but absolutely having a desire to get through get through the pain, get through the possibility, or find a way through the straits of it being something really bad with the heart. Um, and so I just started to come into the breath and started to center into the body and the mind. And whew, yeah, I just opened to, okay, my intention is to be with whatever is here, to not run, not to resist, not to get rid of. If there's something that needs to be done, if it's something, that it needs to be immediately addressed health wise, I'll face that when I know. But right now, what I'm feeling is being asked is presence. So I just started to go more and more into presence, more and more into the breath. It was a shallower breath, so because I couldn't breathe all the way into the chest. And then I just remembered simply, okay, well, I've guided clients this week into blowing into the bubble. So what I'll do in a lot of these situations where there's discomfort, where we want to either fix it, get rid of it, deny it, resist it, project it onto something else or someone else. So that's innate. That's instinctively what we want to do. We want to get rid of it. So I was sitting there and noticing all of the desires of getting rid of, or wanting to fix, and instead I just said, okay, I'm just going to breathe into it and blow it into a bubble, not to get rid of it like an imaginary bubble in front of me. I just started to breathe all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the resistance, all the sadness, all all that was in there, whatever was in there. I just started to breathe. I just started to breathe into the bubble, breathe into the space, and then the exhale was into the bubble. Again, my intention not to get rid of what's in whatever I'm feeling or whatever's resisting, but literally so I can breathe it into the bubble so I could be with it. So this goes on and on. I just kept breathing into the pain, breathing into the bubble, breathing into the pain, releasing it into the bubble, back and forth, back and forth. And I was massaging this area and then just opening, opening, opening. My intention is to be with, rather than split, separate, judge, resist, fix, be with. I'm here, loving, accepting, allowing whatever is here in the moment is welcome. And then whatever is resisting is going into the bubble, not to not be welcome, but just simply so I can be with it. So I'm starting to see black sludge and silvery bright specks go into the bubble, and more is flowing into there. And then I started to feel sadness move into the bubble and rage move into the bubble. resistance, judgment, desire to only have the positive, clinging to the positive, resisting the negative, clinging to health, resisting illness. And then another layer comes off, and then I started to notice, part of my heart is hurting and almost taking on the pain or pitying or trying to take on the burden of one of Veronica and I's dear teachers, Leonard Jacobson's wife, is now in hospice with riddled with cancer and is surrendering to those final stages of death. And so I just remember yesterday taking on the feeling sadness and somehow starting to take it on. Something that we'll often do when we feel the sadness of another is, rather than just experience the sadness, we'll almost take it on and want to take on the suffering for the other person, or feel pity or stress or anxiety for what's going to happen next. What's going to happen to Leonard if Mary dies? What's going to happen to Mary? And so all of that sadness, and wanting to hold for them and support them. And all of that was going in the bubble, and I was just breathing all of that, because they're not asking for pity. They don't need. That's the last thing Leonard wants. Last thing Mary wants. They don't want to be even. They don't want any of that. They're just your presence and love, like presence, love, oneness, light. So I was releasing any of the tendency of wanting to create a burden or create pity or create taking on part of that, or the worry or the fear for them. And just really all of it's going into the bubble, all of it's going in. And I'm able to be more and more present. And then as I'm more and more present with the bubble, more and more present with all of these feelings, resistances, clinging, judgments, and then I started to experience the pain from my knees moving into the bubble, the pain from my feet, the pain from my hands, from my kidneys, whatever, everything's moving into the bubble. And it just became this river, and everything's just flowing right into the bubble. All of the resistance, and it's just allowance. It's allowance to be in the body. It's allowance to go flow out of the body. And as this continued, I started to experience the oneness with the universal pain, the universal suffering, the universal resistance, the universal joy. All of it was coming in at the same time. I'm experiencing both, and all of it's allowed. Whatever is here is allowed. And as I'm experiencing, I'm feeling as though I'm experiencing the universal suffering, the universal pain, the universal resistance, and allowing it to move in and out, flowing in and out with the breath, in and out, in and out, in and out. And this goes on, I don't know, for a couple hours. And the opening is just greater and greater and greater. There's no intention of getting rid of something, healing anything. The mind starts to go to feeling, I start to feel less pain, less restriction and opening, and my mind starts to wander and wonder, am I healing something? Am I having a spontaneous healing, or is something shifting? And all of that is allowed as well. All of the questioning, all of the doubt, all the resistance, all of the questioning, everything is allowed. Everything is allowed. And then from there, peace just ensues, peace of mind. We're all desiring that peace of mind, but we keep trying to get it through getting pieces of something. We keep splintering off and wanting a piece of the pie, a piece of safety, a piece of security. All of these agendas of trying to get what we need in order to feel safe. And in the surrender of that and the trust of something greater, that we are whole, we are whole. In that integration of the duality, in that integration of the health and illness, the joy and sorrow, all of the duality, all of the separate pieces, the integration, the embrace of all of that, that is where freedom is. And as I just breathe and open more and more to a loving, not even a loving allowance, just full bloody embrace of it all. Laughter came, the rage would flow, the sadness would flow, laughter would come. And it just is a natural flow. There's nothing that has to be, and there's no story, no attachment, etc., etc., etc. So I just invite you into this beauty of just opening to whatever you're resisting, whatever you're afraid of. Lean into it, breathe into it, open into it. Can you surrender into it, breathe into it, invite spaciousness into whatever you're resisting right now. And if you can't, then just invite somebody into your field, call somebody who can support you in being here. So I share this just as an invitation of coming in, leaning into the suffering, leaning into the pain, inviting it to, rather than trying to get rid of it, saying, you're welcome to be here. I've been trying to get rid of you. Just like I've been trying, if I'm trying to get rid of a screaming child, is the child going to stop screaming? No. If I ignore it, is the child going to stop screaming? No. But if I embrace and if I'm present, then the child can scream as long as he or she needs. But then she also is knowing that I am here, that she is loved and allowed to be and feel whatever she's feeling. So we are all allowed to love and feel what we're feeling. I just invite you into leaning in and feeling into the suffering, into the resistance. May this be of service to you. I love you. I honor you. I bow to the divine in each of you. And namaste. All right. Many blessings.